Hello everybody, this is Joe and I'm here in Atlanta with Amber. So Amber, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Amber Nicole Smiley. I'm an actress here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am enjoying the film industry here.
Okay, how different do you find Atlanta to LA with filming, in the film industry?
Well, I haven't dibbled and dabbled in LA as much as I would like to. Definitely have worked out there some.
Okay.
I think that here there is a lot less competition, I think is a good way to put it. I think that people are easier to get to, more personable. There's not so much of a casing over people, and that they still have a humanity about them, and they aren't as standoffish or paranoid, and do want to meet just good people and the next up and coming actor, and you have more of a chance here than to fight your way through the ladder of LA, I believe.
Yeah, LA is quite tough. So tell me a bit more about what movies you've acted in or music videos. What projects have you been in?
Well, I'm actually just starting to film majors. I have a nice list of reality shows. And reality shows used to actually be shunned, but they gave me a really good start in knowing whether or not I wanted to do film period, whether I could stay on set for a long time. So I have a nice little resume of single shows like Next, Eliminate, Room Raiders, which I actually had so much fun doing. And now I'm beginning to film. So this October, we're like the month before, I'm going crazy. I have 3 scripts and projects are coming. So they can always go to my Facebook and find it. I'm sure we put the link on there.
Yeah.
But I hate talking about stuff before it's done because I feel like I jinx myself and maybe the project falls apart. But some projects coming up. So I'll just leave it there.
Yeah. Amber's Facebook link is just going to appear just there.
In here.
Yeah. So tell me who inspires you with like movies? Any actors, directors, or actresses?
You know what? As funny as it is, I don't watch television, and I watch older films, but I never wanted to pay attention to other people. It does give you a chance to learn, and if I watch something, I watch for the learning of it.
Yeah.
But I really try to stick to, and I know this sounds kind of funny, and I hear myself saying it, I try to stick to learning a craft and doing it my way.
Yeah.
Because if I do it someone else's way, although you can reinvent the wheel, even with the music industry, everybody was somebody else. I want to be me. I love the 1940s. I love the fact that Halle Berry was from Ohio, just like I am, and first played a crackhead, and she said I could do it. I'm not too pretty to do this. I can get gritty and do it. And so I love little inspirational stories like that, but I can't peg one person and say that that was it. I definitely loved Aaliyah. I would have wanted to see more of her work, and I didn't. Of course, none of us got a chance to, but I loved to see her. She was one of the first ones that made me feel beautiful because she wasn't light skinned with brownish curly hair and blue eyes, and I saw a reflection of myself in her, and I would have loved to see her work a lot more, and I would also love to play her if that day ever came.
Okay, so think in the future, 5 to 10 years from now, where do you see yourself do you have any goals? Where do you see yourself to be in 5 to 10 years time?
That's such a 2-part answer because I used to plan. I'm a planner. I plan out my birthday. It's in December. We're coming up on October now.
Yeah.
I'm planning my birthday. And I would always think that I knew where I would be by a certain age. And I always had a vision of where I would be by a certain age. But there were always so many lessons God had to teach me to make sure that when I got it, not only did I have it, I had it well. And so planning the future, one of the biggest, most important things to me is a family. Regardless of whatever career I have, a supportive husband, children, at least 1 or 2. But I would love for my acting career to be amazing and impeccable, and for me to do the things that I want to do personally through the fruits of my labor from acting, like helping people. And I always had this vision of driving down the highway and pulling cars off the side of the road and getting them fixed for the day with the money that I have for acting. So I mean, really affecting the world, not just from being an amazing actress, but from the fruits of that labor and doing amazing things from it. So I would love, of course, my dream. I've fought for this. It nags me at night of acting. I would want that to definitely be flourished and happy. Here in Atlanta, I love Atlanta, and so I hope that it happens here. I'm not opposed to LA or New York or being anywhere else to work, but I want to be in the midst of this booming film industry that's
Okay.
happening here.
Okay, so if someone came along tomorrow, offered you a big contract for a big movie, but it's in LA,
I'm
you'd
gone.
take it.
I'm gone.
I think I would as well.
I'm gone.
So outside of the film acting and industry, what other things do you like to do? I heard something about music.
I rap. I do rap.
Okay.
I like music. It seems that here, at least in Atlanta, maybe this is just I'll stick to what I know. There seems to be a sexual exchange that needs to happen for you to get to what you would want to do in your music career, and that's not a promised route to go. So
Okay.
I do rap. I don't sing. I'm sure there are some auto tunes or whatever can happen, but I love to rap. I'm always been a poet at heart, and I'm a great writer. So I've definitely can rap, but it's not in my forefront just because of the music industry right now is pretty much on life support,
Yeah.
unfortunately, or you need a major force behind you to get where you want to go. But I do rap a little bit.
Okay, cool. Is there anywhere if the people watching this, is there anywhere they can go to hear you rap?
Absolutely. My YouTube is always on, and it's /Miss MS Amber Nicole 13 is my YouTube page, and it has everything from my blogs, my thoughts, my visions, my channeling to my music. Everything's on there.
What are your thoughts on this new thing? I wouldn't say it's a craze. One of my friends is back in it. She wrote a book called Swirling, How to Date, Make and Relate.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about the whole swirling thing, the interracial dating?
I think interracial dating is a beautiful thing. I do. I think that the whole time that you spend on this earth you need to make sure for yourself that you're happy. And if that means that you need to stop color coding your dating pool, then that's what you need to do. And really hop in and find people that make you happy. Of course, people that you are attracted to. And I've learned the bigger my pool got is the more things I found myself attracted to. Not the more things, the more men that I found myself attracted to. So I'm all for it. I think that we need to start focusing on having a solid household with two parents, a good father for your children, whether you've already had them or whether you will have them, and a wonderful husband for you that's willing to stick in it thick and thin. And so I'm all for interracial dating. I think that if someone is happy, you should be happy for them. It has nothing to do with skin tone.
Okay, cool. And my final question, it might be a bit of a hard one to answer.
Try me.
But before I came here to Atlanta, I heard there's a lot of racial tension, and I was warned about this, that, and the other by people. Is this true?
I think every rumor has a truth to it. This is the South. This is where slaves came, died. As an African American from an African American historic point of view, we were raped, we were murdered, we were killed. We have grandparents, great grandparents, we have parents that still feel the effects of racial tension, whether it's a job they couldn't get or the way that they're treated. I think that will always be a factor because this is where it happened. And a lot of those memories didn't just die with time progressing. So I think there's a truth to everything. I think it is here. I will never sugarcoat or shun anything that is realistic. If you drive further south or further north, or if you just get into the wrong part of the city, you'll see a Confederate flag. Now, what does that mean? It means different things for some people, but I do think that there is that. But I also moved here specifically because I remember sitting in Walmart when I was visiting, and I just sat there and I saw World Day Parade. That's what I felt like it was. There were Indians, there were Mexicans, there were Africans, there were black people, African Americans, there were white people, there were mixed couples. I've seen tables of Orientals, and then all of a sudden somebody started talking Spanish because they married someone that was of a Hispanic background. So I actually moved here because it's such a melting pot. I don't know if it's the airport that's one of the busiest in the world, or if it's just the fact that people are just coming here and finding a place. But I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I even went home to visit, and it was more segregated there than it is here. So I think just picking what you want to pay attention to is important. And it's like a camera. You can focus on one thing or you can focus on another. But
Well, I guess that rumour, what I heard for here, can go for anywhere in the world, really.
Anywhere, absolutely. You can always find segregation. You can always find racism. It is what you focus on. I've seen more interracial dating and culture mixing here than I've lived in Baltimore, I've lived in Phoenix, Arizona, I've lived in Cleveland, Ohio, you know, I've lived all over, and I'm here because I love the fact that I can, you know, go off and get Thai food, or, you know, I can go to Pleasant Hill into one of my little favorite cafes and not understand what anybody's saying because they're speaking everything from Korean to Japanese, and it's beautiful to me. But if you don't dive into other cultures, or at least decide to go in a place that you might not have gone in before, you'll never explore it, and you'll continue to segregate yourself. So I think that people really have to have a chance to decide what they're going to focus on, you know. And of course, everyone's probably been treated poorly for their skin tone or for their financial status, or judged, or made assumptions about, or somebody has dealt with something at some point in time. But you really do have to decide to pick what you focus on and go from there. Make your own decisions and assumptions and start your own rumors.
Okay, the final question is, what genre of movie do you like to work in?
Oh, all of them. I don't know if there's one that I would say that I wouldn't want to do.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So anyone really?
I want to say no to something, but I, as an actress, now can I play every single role? No, I can't be a big 6 foot tall, you know, Asian man. I could with enough hair and makeup, you know, and stilts, but as an actress, I think that there can always be a role that can fit you in any type of movie, and you know, I would love to do whatever. I'm just so excited to do what I love, and I've waited so long for it. So I don't think that there's anything that I wouldn't be able to do.
So really, any genre
Any
you're happy
genre.
to do, if the role fits.
If the role
you're happy.
fits, that's always it. If the role fits, any genre.
Well, it's been great to meet you. Also, I just want to add that I learn something new everywhere I go, and Amber taught me something today before I ate dinner.
And I was
before
very
ate my lunch.
honored to do that. That was very, like, a moment for me. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I actually said a prayer before I ate my food. So that's the first time I've ever done that, and Amber showed me the right way to do it. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It was good to meet you, and
You
thanks
too.
for the interview.